Now, it'd be interesting to know when Wheatley Mill first came into the Cripps family, wouldn't it?
Well, that Len's got all the deeds for that.
Yes. But here, you've just handed me letter here.
Deed, yes.
Yes, referring to when
I don't
you
know
bought
if that
it.
was the first time or the second time, though.
Really? Yes, this is dated June the 21st, 1853.
Mm.
So, you think they would have bought it before that date,
Well,
do you?
I
mean, you as a member of the family,
I
it was...
don't really know, but I know they let it and went to Australia.
Yeah. Who was that?
Grandfather.
Yes,
The
that
one,
would be...
this one that's in the deeds.
The one referred to this 1853 sale.
Yes.
And that would be Obed
No,
that
that
was
was my grandfather.
Ezra.
No, that's Dad.
Yeah.
Dad was... I think his name was George, wasn't it? Who signed it?
No, there's no signature on it.
But it says...
oh yes, there's Mr.
yes,
George Cripps.
That's right. Well,
That's
that was
right.
grandfather. Well,
Right, yes.
He-
And then after
after
Miss-
it went
after-
to Granny, Ellen.
that would be Miss Ellen Cripps.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Now we're getting it straight.
Yeah.
Where's the...
Yes, in 1853.
Yes,
That's right. We got George.
1853.
Yeah.
Then,
Then it
when
went on
he
to...
died, it went to Granny Ellen.
That's Ellen Cripps. That
She
would
was
be
88.
That's
when
his
she-
wife.
That's his wife, yes.
Yes. Yes. And she was... What date would that be about? She was 88 when she died, you say. Yeah.
And that's when I was very small.
Yes.
I wouldn't know the date of that. I know we looked after her because there was a cottage there.
Yeah.
Of course, in that corner, Dad and Mum lived over there.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
when she died, it went to Ezra.
Yes. And Ezra
He was
would be your...
her son.
Yes.
That's my father.
Yes. You've no idea when that would be.
No,
Yes.
I suppose he'd be over 100 now.
Well, I'd have to make it something like 1875 then, wouldn't it?
What, when he was born? No, he didn't.
Yes, when he was born.
This was his Darman wedding. They was
That's
married
right.
60
years, yes. So that would be, if he was born about 1875, that's bringing it up to about 1950, isn't it?
That's somewhere near there, yes. You
Yes.
got it. Well then, when he died, it was left to Mum Rosina. Ezra left it to Rosina.
Yes, that's his...
That was his wife
yes.
here. Oh, well, that's his wife as well. And then,
What was her name?
Rosina.
Rosina Cripps.
and from there, when she died,
Yeah.
it went to Leonard Cripps.
Yeah,
that's my brother.
That's right. That's
Now we got it
Mr.
right.
Leonard Cripps, who I met the
Yes,
other
that's
day.
right.
Yes, and any idea when that would be? Roughly.
Well, let me see. Oh, the heat's fetched it off.
Yes.
I
Oh,
haven't got the date written.
but anyway, that's the sort of thing we could
That's the
find out, isn't it,
Yes.
from your brother?
Wouldn't it, if you,
The thing,
when he took it over, wouldn't
yeah.
it? 'Cause you
The
see,
interesting thing would be the mill was still obviously
in the Cripps family.
working then.
1914. That was
that-
the last time it worked. I remember that because I went up the steps with Dad to put the sails in position.
Really?
Yes, now I can remember that
Yeah,
bit.
yes. And that was the last time it worked?
That was the last time it worked.
Yes. And up to them it had been working all the time.
Yes, corn.
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 They do say that it also ground ochre.
It didn't.
Never ground
Never
ochre?
ground ochre.
Hmm.
No. There was no reds. You couldn't grind ochre and corn with those millstones.
Not with the same ones?
Not with the
that's
same
fact.
ones, no.
I seem to remember Mr. Ellen Cripps talking
They did
about
have
it.
some ochre, but I think that was down in the pit a bit further.
Yes, they dug the ochre
They
out,
did dig
didn't
some,
they? Yes.
but
I thought he had some sort of arrangement whereby it was ground just outside the mill. I didn't get the details of this, but it sounded as though there was some machinery there which was connected up to the
could have been, but
turning.
I've never seen it.
Mm.
Never.
Yes. And because there were two mills there at one time.
Yes. No, that was here.
The other one was here,
The
yes.
other one was
this
here.
is in Post Mill Cottage.
Post Mill House was here, yes.
Yes, yes.
Post
And
Mill.
this is the site of the other mill.
We're sitting on it.
Yeah.
It's,
Was that owned by the Cripps family too?
yes, he had two.
Both mills?
Yes.
were, Yeah.
That's the one,
Yes.
and that's the one we're sitting on.
Which one?
This one.
Yes. That's taken looking from
1850.
from Littleworth. Yes, 1850.
No, that's coming up the lane from Horsepath.
That's right. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Because
What happened to the second mill then?
well, this is a funny bit. My dad was the youngest of 9 children.
Yeah.
And what do you think happened? They must have been outside here somewhere playing with matches.
Oh dear.
And it was wooden like Braille.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he burnt it. It got burnt
caught
down.
fire.
And he got the blame for it.
Your father did.
Yes.
He get into trouble that day, I bet.
No, he got the blame for it.
Yeah. And it was just completely destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When would that be then?
But he was 3.
3 at the time.
Yes.
Yeah. And he was.
He was 3.
Yes.
He was Ezra.
That's right.
They all had Bible names. All the
Yeah.
Crippses. There was what's his name? William, Uncle Bill, Uncle Tom, Uncle Ebenezer,
Yeah, yes. And an Obadiah,
and
wasn't it?
Uncle Obadiah,
Yes.
Aunt Selina,
Yes.
Sarah.
Yes. A very religious family. Was this?
We
Yeah.
got the family Bible. No,
Yeah.
no, we haven't. Len got it. We got
Yeah.
the Bannister family Bible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Len's
That's,
got it.
and that second mill was working, was it, presumably, up to the time it was
I expect
broken
it was,
down?
yes.
Yeah.
Must have been.
Yeah.
But what I
Yeah.
was going to tell you was that they went to Australia and in the deeds, and it said all the goods and chattels. No, it was rent for 1 year
It was let out, was it?
Yes.
Yes.
to the said John Stracy, I think it was.
Yes. It was only let out for 1 year then, wasn't
That's
it?
all.
Well, the rest of the time it was worked by the Cripps family.
Yes,
Yes. It's a long time, isn't
it's
it?
a long time ago, but it's
Yeah.
in the deeds.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it was for the rent. How much do you think that was?
And when would this be? What sort of time? How long ago we're talking about now?
Well, it was before all those children was born, I should think.
Really? Yeah.
Well, only some of them were born.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, well. I have no idea, really, but I know money was worth a lot more in those days.
5 shillings.
Really.
Now, all the goods and chattels, including the donkey and the cart, for 5 shillings and a peppercorn. That was the rent.
Well,
And that's in the deeds.
yeah, yeah. Fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah,
And that was including the donkey
and the
cart.
cart, and the cottage.
And cottage as well.
Yes.
Yeah. But they only had it for 1 year, you say?
That's all, only
Yeah.
for 1 year.
Yeah. And then what? The
They
Cripps,
came back
Cripps
then.
family
Came back and took it
worked
back
it together.
over again.
Let's see. Yeah.
It was real
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah. Did the people from round about bring their corn
Oh
here,
yes, all the
presumably?
farmers used to bring
All
their
the farmers
corn.
in this area?
Mm,
Yeah. So it'd be quite busy, I should think, wouldn't it?
it would be.
Mm.
Until several years ago, the lane was like that picture, all ruts.
Yeah,
Cart ruts.
yes. Was that the way they'd come with the stuff, wouldn't it? With
Yes,
corn
it
to be
was
ground.
cart ruts all the way down there. In fact, my mum went down to Mr. Alden because we were doing a concert. Well, we was doing a pantomime, really. And when they put the water through Littleworth, that's not so very long ago,
Yeah.
laid the water through, and
Yeah.
all the lorries was coming up through here. Well, there was about 18 an hour, I counted.
Gosh.
Lorries and cars came through. Well, that sand, they was going down and
Yeah.
down and down
Yeah.
and down, and we couldn't get anywhere. You could bury, I could fall down in one of the
Yeah.
ruts and be buried. So Mum went off to Mr. Auden.
Mm.
He brought her back home. And he said he wouldn't have believed it unless he'd seen it. So he sent some men up to do the lane, put it a bit better. Instead of doing our end, they went down and did where there was nobody at all, down the
What,
other
down
end.
at the Littleworth
Littleworth
end?
end.
Well,
By the stile.
yeah, that wasn't on, was it? Yeah. But that's an interesting fact that you say it never ground ochre. Because
Well,
a lot of ochre was dug up round
There was
here.
it was dug up, but it wasn't ground in that windmill.
Mm,
Definitely not.
mm.
Not as I had ever seen it.
No, no. I just presumed, obviously you can't grind ochre on the same millstones as you're grinding flour.
Corn, can you? No.
And I just presumed that one of the mills ground ochre and the other one ground corn.
Well, it's like those bally footpaths. That's all wrong.
Mm.
You know that little row of cottages at Littleworth?
Where the footpath starts.
Yes, well,
Yeah.
where it don't start now because they've altered it.
Yeah.
From here, by the mill, where the gate is,
Yes.
and the stables, that's not a public footpath.
Oh.
That's private road, and that's a private road right down to the bottom by Powell's. Absolutely. Well, they've been and the other footpath was down the bottom of the mill garden, right down and come out on that funny little turn by Andante where the bend is.
Yes.
And there's a little cottage facing up towards Horsepath. Well, Littleworth really, but it faces up to go the hill way. Well, that's where the opening to the footpath is.
Is it?
Not round the
Yeah.
back of those houses at all, where they've made it now.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that was a private road for those that lived in their back way.
Mm. Up to here. Came up to Windmill Lane.
No, the
The private one.
The private one came up out here
That's
because my mum used to collect the rents for the landlord, and then when she couldn't, when Dad was ill, I did it. And I'm definitely sure there was no footpath round there.
So you think that it's wrong, the present one?
The present one is very wrong round the back of those houses because the footpath should go from the bottom of the mill garden straight out into the road. At the bottom,
At
don't know the name of the people.
Littleworth end?
Yes, at Littleworth end.
Yes.
And also there was another little footpath where they used to come up and go round the back of the houses at the end of Mr. Cobb's house, on the end of the 8. But round the back of that house, never.
Well, actually, it's got a bit overgrown, that footpath.
It has, because I tried to come up there.
Yes.
You can't
yes.
walk.
No.
In
no.
fact,
so it's,
I had some
you'll probably be able to start again in the right position. Yeah. But I was interested in what you're saying about your family being very musical, and who was it who did the paintings of the
Uncle
the two
George
mills?
Bannister,
Yeah.
not Cripps.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Uncle George Bannister.
Yes.
He was an invalid, and he only did it from. Well, we didn't do the one. He did the one with the 2 mills on.
With the
that.
2 mills on. Yes,
That
yeah.
was a vicar that did that, because that's me pushing that pram.
Which one's that?
The one that you was sticking the tape on.
Oh yes, that's the one. That smaller one.
The small one.
Yes. I better make a note of that, isn't it?
That's me pushing the pram.
I was in the middle of sticking it.
When the scissors.
So I had something to talk about. Oh, this is you as a little girl.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's me, and that's Len in the pram.
Well, who was it did this small one? It was the...
This is me.
Who painted it? Who painted this one?
A vicar that was on holiday where Moreland House is now.
Oh, yes. Because that
And
used to be the vicarage, didn't it?
That was the
Moreland?
vicarage, and he gave it to me.
Wow.
And he was very kind to me, because he said I was in such trouble, because in that pinafore I'd got a big long slit, and he mended it for me. See, there's the gateway into... that's the gateway down the back of the mill that goes out to Littleworth. This white one. That's Granny there.
Yes. And this is what you say is a private road.
That goes down to Littleworth is absolutely private.
Yes.
Because that used to be an allotments out here.
Yes.
Where the found out is, and before it was sold to London Brick Company.
Yeah. Yes.
And that was